You ever see a product online and just wonder, does it actually do what they say it does? Well, today we're putting that to the test. We are going to deconstruct the Vantrue N2X dashcam. We're going to peel back the marketing hype, dig into what real users are saying, and help you figure out if this thing is the right co-pilot for your car. So let's dive in.
So, what's the trigger? What makes someone go from not thinking about a dash cam to suddenly needing one? It's usually not about a cool feature or some big sale. Nope. It's often just one single, totally unexpected moment out on the road that makes you wish you had a witness.
And that quote? That's from a real customer. Just picture it for a second. You're driving down the highway, something flies up, and bam, shattered windshield. In that one split second, the idea of having a dash cam goes from a maybe to I need this right now. It's that aha moment, right? That's what gets so many of us to start shopping around. Okay, so you've had that aha moment. You start searching and you land on the product page for the Vantrue N2X. So what's the pitch? What are they promising this little gadget can do? Let's break down the official highlights. First thing they push is complete coverage, and the big deal here is the dual camera setup. It's not just recording the road ahead in pretty sharp 1944p resolution, it's also recording what's happening inside the car at the same time in 1080p. Throw in some super wide-angle lenses, and the idea is that it sees pretty much everything. You can see why that's a huge deal for, say, rideshare drivers or even just families. Let's be real, stuff doesn't only happen when it's bright and sunny. So Vantrue really talks up its night vision. They use this tech called Starvis 2 and Dual HDR to make sure the video outside is clear even when it's dark. And inside the car? Well, it has 4 little infrared lights, which means it can see perfectly even in a pitch-black cabin. That's absolutely critical for anyone who drives at night. It's not just about recording, though. The N2X is built to be convenient. It's got 5G Wi-Fi, so you can zap videos over to your phone pretty fast. The GPS is built right in, so it's always logging your speed and exactly where you are. But maybe the handiest feature of all, voice control. Being able to just say, take photo or lock the video without taking your hands off the wheel, well, that's a game changer when something important happens. Now, this next part sounds kind of geeky, but trust me, it's super important. This dashcam doesn't use a normal battery. Why? Because regular batteries can't stand up to the crazy temperatures inside a car. They can die or just completely fail. Instead, this uses something called a supercapacitor. All you really need to know is that it's built to survive everything from freezing winters to scorching hot summers, which makes the whole device way, way more reliable. All right, so that's the story Vantrue tells you. That's the sales pitch. But what happens when this thing hits the real world? The real test is what more than 1,100 actual customers have to say about it. Let's start digging through those reviews. Okay, so at first glance, the numbers look pretty good. A solid 4.4 out of 5 stars, and look at that. A whopping 73% of people gave it a perfect 5-star rating. That's huge. But here's where it gets interesting. See that 9% chunk? Those are 1-star reviews. That's a pretty big gap between love it and hate it. And that's what we really need to investigate. So what are people actually writing about in all those reviews? Well, we ran an analysis, and 3 topics just kept coming up over and over again: reliability, quality, and how easy it was to install. This is great because it tells us exactly what matters most to people once they actually have this thing in their car. And here's where we see that split we were talking about. The highs, people absolutely love the super clear video, they find the phone app easy to use, and they say the mount is really solid. But the lows? Well, it all comes down to reliability and that Wi-Fi connection. It seems like you either get one that works perfectly, or you get one that just stops working or can never seem to connect. It points to a real inconsistency, which is kind of frustrating. So, let's say you decide to roll the dice on this camera. How do you make sure you get the best experience and maybe avoid some of those problems? We found one super detailed review from a user who basically laid out the perfect roadmap for getting started. This user gave an awesome 5-step guide. It's got the basics, stick the camera on the windshield, pop in an SD card, but they also added a couple of pro tips. First, think about getting the optional hardwire kit. And second, they recommended a specific YouTube video that shows you how to tuck all the wires away so your car looks clean and professional. And that brings up a really good question. The hardwire kit is sold separately, and it's what you need to use the 24/7 parking mode. But is it actually worth the extra cash and the hassle of installing it? The same reviewer had a really clear answer. They said, look,
If you park on the street or in a big open parking lot where anything can happen, then yes, the kit is totally worth it for that peace of mind. But if your car is usually tucked away safe in a garage, then you can probably save your money and skip it. Simple as that.
Okay, so we've heard the promises from the company, we've dug through the good and the bad from over 1,000 real users, and we even got some tips on how to set it up right. Time to put it all together and make a final call. So let's boil this all down, shall we? On the pro side, the good stuff is really good. You're getting high-res recording for both inside and out, fantastic night vision, and that supercapacitor that makes it tough as nails. But then on the con side, you've got this question mark around reliability, the fact you got to buy key accessories separately, and then those app connection headaches that some people ran into. So here's the bottom line. The Vantrue N2X is loaded with powerful features, no doubt about it. But it also seems to come with a bit of a gamble. So the question you have to ask yourself is this. Are you willing to bet on all those great features? Well, knowing there's a chance you might run into some reliability issues. That's really the trade-off here. And now, the choice is yours.